here from the Pony Podcast. Today in this video we're going to go over trimming, so little bits you can trim on your horse to make them look a little bit neater and tidier, and we're going to give Maria here a little bit of a makeover. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to trim Maria's tail. Now when you trim the tail you want to make sure that you trim it straight so that it lies straight at the bottom, and you also want to make sure you get it the right length, because when they work they're going to carry it a little bit higher. So the way that you work out how short you want to trim it is you gather the tail up together and then wrap it around the back of their leg and just underneath the hock, and then where your fingers sit at the back of their tendons, that's where you want to cut the tail. Okay, so Maria's not had a makeover for a while, so she's got a lot of tail. Okay, and then I always just look at it at the end again just to make sure it's level, so if there are any bits that are sticking out, just take those off and then your tail isn't going to be wonky. Okay. The next thing we're going to trim is her bridle path. This is just a little bit of a gap of mane that you cut off to help the bridle lie flatter on the top of their head. Good girl. So you don't want to make it too long, you want it to be just the thickness of her bridle. So you can see here where I trimmed one before and now it's got a little bit long. So we're just going to use that again and then just trim it off. There we go. If you've got some small clippers you can do that too with them, but just make sure that you're careful, because if you slip it's not going to end well. And then just make it nice and flat and then it'll be a bit more comfortable for her. And then we're going to trim her ears. So when you do their ears, I just trim the outside. You never want to take the hair off inside their ears, because that's really important for stopping things going in. So to make sure I just take the outside off, I'm just going to fold her ear together so that you've got both edges together, and then just cut down the front just to get rid of all the bits that are sticking out, and then just come back together and you should get a good straight line. There we go. Hiya, good girl. And then we'll do the other side. Good girl. There we go. That's better. So on their head, some people like to take off their whiskers. I don't, because I think they need them and it doesn't really make any difference to how they look to me personally, so I always leave them on. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to tidy up are her feathers. I know she's not got the biggest feathers in the world, but they still need tidying. So when you do the feathers, I always use a comb and some scissors, because if you just use scissors you can get it looking a little bit liney and then that looks really weird. So I'll just use the comb and then cut off the bit that sticks out, so then here it's a bit longer, and just kind of keep going around the fetlock with your comb till you run out of bits that are longer when they stick up. And then I always do that other side from the opposite side. Maria's very good, but always be mindful when you're working around their feet that you keep an eye on what they're doing so you don't accidentally get stood on. You can also use a pair of clippers if you've got them, but her feathers are so small I just don't think it's worth it. There we go. Thanks for watching this, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy some of our other ones that are on our channel. Go and have a look. We've done lots of ones on bandaging and also things like saddle fitting and bathing, and lots more exciting plans to come. You can check out our podcasts on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. There's also some of them on this channel as well. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram and leave us a comment or send us a DM if you've got any suggestions for future videos.